Hey everyone, it's Mark. Today I'm going to rank the top 10 worst gym battles that Ash Ketchum has ever had in the Pokemon anime. Even though Ash has had many gym battles that are remembered fondly, the ones in this video are not remembered in the same way. Just to clarify, this video is going to focus on the gym battles Ash has had in Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, and Kalos. Sorry Orange Island's gyms and Alolan Trials, but this video isn't for you. Actually, it's probably a good thing to not be included in this list. Before I jump into the honorable mentions, take a second to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Both of those things will help my channel grow, and they each only take 1 second to do. And remember, these rankings are just my opinion, so please leave a comment telling me whether you agree, disagree, and what ideas you have for future videos. The first of 2 honorable mentions is Ash's first battle against Lieutenant Surge. His rematch against Surge was referenced in a recent Pokemon Journeys episode, but they didn't mention the first match the two had. After belittling Ash and his Pikachu prior to the battle, Surge backed up his strong talk by defeating Ash without his Raichu even taking any damage. This loss served a greater purpose though, as Ash and Pikachu got their revenge by the end of the episode. Second honorable mention is Ash's first match against Viola. This was his first gym battle in Kalos and undoubtedly his worst. This 2v2 match looked to be in Ash's favor, with Pikachu and Fletchling both being good matchups against Viola's bug types. Like any good gym leader, Viola had a strategy to cover her weaknesses, and she soundly defeated both of Ash's Pokemon. Not a good look for Ash in his first Kalos gym battle, but he was able to win his rematch in the next episode. Ash's first battle against Brawly comes in at number 10. After chasing Brawly down, who had been enjoying a day out on the beach, Ash was pretty confident he'd easily beat this surfer bro. The first matchup of this 2v2 battle was Tailo vs Machop, and Ash starts spamming Wing Attack while Machop rolls through each attack.
I know! Machop's skills at surfing must have something to do with absorbing attacks! Huh? The way Machop moves around on the battlefield is the same way it uses its legs for control while riding on a surfboard!
After Brock clocks exactly what Brawly's strategy is, Ash just continues to try using brute force, and this results in Tailo getting knocked out in just 1 hit. Treecko is Ash's last Pokemon, and remember, at this point, Treecko's moveset was pretty limited. After several pound attacks, they wear Machop down enough to the point that it faints. Treecko vs Makuhita is the final matchup, and it's pretty one-sided. Treecko gets knocked down again and again and again before finally losing against Brawly's newly evolved Hariyama. The reason this battle makes this list over a much shorter battle like Lieutenant Surge's is because of how bad Ash was during this match. Ash was still a pretty immature trainer at this point, and maybe this early into his Hoenn journey, he wasn't used to using weaker Pokemon again. He praised Treecko for its resiliency during this battle, but he wore it down so much it ended up in critical condition at the Pokemon Center. Brock even told him to change up his strategy, but Ash refused, overconfident in his own Pokemon's abilities. Speaking of Ash looking bad as a trainer, his gym battle versus Elesa was arguably his lowest point as a Pokemon trainer, at least in the eyes of a large portion of the fan base. Prior to this battle, Ash had spent a long time thinking of a strategy to use against Elesa's electric types, and, well, it didn't work so well. Elesa sends out Zebstrika first, the Pokemon that she used to sweep Bianca in the previous episode. Ash sends out Palpitoad, and the battle begins. Since Zebstrika can't use any electric attacks, Elesa starts spamming Flame Charge to raise its speed, a technique that Ash uses quite a lot with his own fire types. After taking a beating from Zebstrika, Palpitoad manages to survive, and then very quickly counters with Supersonic, Mudshot, and Hydro Pump, easily knocking out Zebstrika. This was probably the best battle of the entire match, and it wasn't even back and forth, it was literally just Palpitoad getting beat up, then instantly KOing Zebstrika. Emolga is up next, and it uses its flying type moves to knock out Palpitoad.
You can't be serious! I was gonna win every battle with you!
Ash's strategy was just Palpitoad?
Well, if I had to guess, yes.
How dumb can you be? Ash didn't even bother to bring in another Pokemon, so he goes and calls one in mid-battle. This probably shouldn't be allowed, but oh well. Ash really doesn't have any excuse for having a bad strategy now.
That's right! Flying type moves are super effective on grass types. Oh man, Snively's a grass type Pokemon!
Not only does Ash completely forget about the flying type moves that just beat Palpitoad, but he even forgets Snivy's gender as well. I'll ask again, just how dumb can Ash be? Anyways, Pikachu is as frustrated as the fans are watching this battle, so he makes it clear he should be Ash's last Pokemon. This causes Ash to realize his mistakes and admit that he's nothing without his Pokemon. This is about the only redeeming factor in this entire battle, so at least there's a silver lining. After beating Emolga, it's Pikachu vs Tynamo in the final matchup. Tynamo is allegedly Elesa's strongest Pokemon, but it just spams Tackle over and over. But just when Pikachu looks beat, Ash has it light up the place with Thunderbolts before taking Tynamo down with Iron Tail. Finally, this disaster of a match is over. An entire episode was dedicated to this mess, which is way more than any of the other battles on this list. Still, Ash did manage to overcome his own idiocy and won himself the Bolt Badge. Ash and Misty have battled against each other a few times over the course of the anime, but their gym battle was not especially memorable.
Alright, Ash, are you ready to rumble?
This battle was not the main focus of the episode, so it happens pretty quickly with some unclear rules. Pikachu refuses to fight against Misty, so Ash is forced to switch things up, using Butterfree instead. Misty calls Staryu, who is able to hold its own, smartly countering attacks like Sunspore and Sleep Powder by using the water to its advantage. Butterfree, on the other hand, cannot handle the water, and Ash calls it back before sending out Pidgeotto. Misty swaps her Pokemon, even though gym leaders aren't usually allowed to do that, and Starmie is up next. After an alright back and forth, Pidgeotto gets the upper hand and Starmie looks to be defeated.
Alright, Pidgeotto, let's get that trainer badge!
Team Rocket interrupt the battle, and Ash eventually gets the Cascade badge for saving the Cerulean gym. I'm not really sure what would have happened if the battle continued, since I'm not sure whether Butterfree or Staryu were still eligible to battle. The battle was pretty promising, but like I said, it wasn't the focus of the episode. Oh well. Here's a fun fact, Ash has lost a battle against every single normal type gym leader in the anime. I wonder how his match against Lenora will go. Now, Ash losing isn't a bad thing on its own, but Ash getting totally outmatched and looking dumb in the process is not entertaining to watch. This 2-on-2 battle starts with Lenora using the psychological attack, as Silent puts it, of Roar, followed up by switching her Pokemon and using Mean Look. Once again, I'm not sure about the gym leader being able to switch Pokemon, but anyways, it's not like it really matters, it's still a fresh 2-on-2 battle. Of course, Ash is totally thrown off his game, and he basically gets destroyed from here on out. Oshawott and Watchog have a decent exchange of attacks, which is just about the only redeeming quality of this battle, but eventually it's 1-0 to Lenora. We're back to the matchup that started the battle with Tepig versus Lillipup. Ash manages to fight back and draw even— oh wait, Lillipup knocks out Tepig in less than a minute. What was even the point of Lenora switching her Pokemon at the start if Lillipup was just going to dominate anyways? Ash getting embarrassed in this match was not that fun to watch, but at least they had a fair, full battle. And this defeat did set up Ash's redemption in their rematch. Ash's rematch against Whitney comes in at number 6. Ash's first battle against Whitney was really similar to all of our first attempts at beating Whitney as a kid. Things were going well, until a rollout sweep from her Miltank totally crushed us. For their second match, Ash requested an unofficial battle, just to see if he could defeat Miltank. Whitney accepts and goes for another rollout sweep. Ash, sticking with the same team as last time, sends out Cyndaquil to run around and just get battered by rollout. Totodile is up next, and Ash doesn't even bother attacking Miltank. He just has Totodile make ridges in the ground by using Water Gun. After Totodile gets rolled out, Pikachu manages to get Miltank off balance by using Agility, before it uses the ridges to send it flying. Now vulnerable up in the air, one Thunderbolt is enough to knock Miltank out. So great, Ash won an unofficial 3-on-1 battle. Wait, he's getting a badge anyways? Unlike in the Elesa battle, Ash did actually have a well thought out strategy here, but I am really not a fan of how Ash quote unquote earned the plain badge here. Speaking of Ash unfairly earning badges, we're headed back to Kanto for his match against Erika. While this episode was actually pretty good overall, the gym battle was not. Similar to the Misty battle, this match was quick, confusing, and incomplete. Bulbasaur vs Tangela is the first match, and after a quick exchange, Ash recalls Bulbasaur after it got paralyzed. In the early days of the anime, sometimes status effects such as sleep and paralysis counted as being knocked out, so I'm not sure what the ruling was here. Charmander is out next, while Erika sends out Weeping Bell. Again, I thought gym leaders couldn't substitute during a match, but why do I even bother with rules at this point in the video? Anyways, this is the best part of the match, as Charmander's combination of Flamethrower into a Skull Bash emphatically knocks out Weeping Bell. Gloom is Erika's third Pokemon, and it immediately knocks out Charmander with its scent? Not exactly a sweet scent, I guess. Ash doesn't know what to do next, but just as Pikachu volunteers to battle, Team Rocket interrupt yet another gym battle. After blowing themselves up, they manage to set the entire building on fire, yada yada yada. Ash saves Gloom in the fire, and Erika gives him the rainbow badge. Alright, it's time for Ash's 8th gym badge in the Kanto region. A lot of his Kanto battles have made their way onto this list, but surely the 8th gym leader will put up more of a fight.
Let's celebrate! We just got a big promotion! Now we're gonna get the respect we deserve!
That's right, Meow, cause the new leaders of this gym are...
The three of us!
Yeah.
You guys are gym leaders?
Or maybe not. We go from Team Rocket interrupting gym battles to the gym battle actually being against Team Rocket. Earlier in this episode, Giovanni had destroyed Gary by using Mewtwo against him, but some emergency caused him to leave the gym in the hands of Jesse, James, and Meow. Not only did these three get the gym left to them, they also got some of the gym's Pokemon, which Jesse sends out all at once. At first, these overpowered Pokemon are too much for Ash to handle, which sends electric shocks into the platform that he's standing on. Eventually, Ash's willpower and determination turns the tide, and Pidgeotto starts landing hits on Rhydon. Team Rocket send Arbok and Weezing into the fray, so Ash's Pikachu shock all of their Pokemon at once, which knocks them, and Jesse, all out. Togepi accidentally detonates some explosives, Team Rocket get blasted off again, and the Earth Badge falls into Ash's hands, giving him his final Kanto Gym Badge. This was a complete mess from start to finish, and there was hardly any battle at all. It was cool seeing Ash believe in his Pokemon so much, even when his friends were telling him to give up. That's pretty much the only reason this battle wasn't higher on this list. We're headed back to Hoenn for number 3 with Ash's lopsided victory over Wattson. What makes this match so bad is that Ash literally won in just 3 moves. That's it. All 3 of Wattson's Pokemon got one shot by Pikachu, even though his electric type moves shouldn't have been very effective. The context to this is that Wattson had this roller coaster ride in his gym, which includes a mechanical Raikou showing up in the middle of it. Thinking it was the real thing, Ash had Pikachu battle it, which ended up discharging a ton of electricity into Pikachu. I'm sure that won't matter, right?
Great! Super!
I'm not sure who thought it was a good idea to make this battle such an anticlimax, since Pikachu literally wins with just 2 Thunderbolts and a Thunder.
Great! Super!
I'm changing things up for the top 2 on this list, as each entry will actually be 2 battles. Second place goes to Ash's matches against Sabrina. Honestly, everything about Sabrina in the anime is completely over the top ridiculous, except for the actual battles. Ash's first match against Sabrina is a one-on-one battle between Pikachu and Abra. Well, make that Pikachu versus Kadabra, as Sabrina's Pokemon evolves right at the start of the battle. The anime did a good job of making psychic types look just as overpowered as they were in the Gen 1 games, as Kadabra is able to easily counter Pikachu's strongest attack, and it basically just toys with him until Ash forfeits. Then, the remainder of this episode and the next one are spent with Ash and friends getting turned into literal dolls by Sabrina, escaping with the help of her father, traveling to Lavender Town to find a ghost type, Ash and Pikachu dying and turning into ghosts, recruiting Haunter to battle Sabrina just for it to run away as soon as their rematch starts, which causes Brock and Misty to be trapped in Sabrina's dollhouse along with her very own mother. Like I said, everything involving Sabrina is completely ridiculous. Just as the rematch is finally about to begin, Haunter disappears yet again, which seemingly dooms Ash to becoming a doll just like his friends. But Pikachu steps in, willing to risk it all to defend Ash. Pikachu even lands a hit this time, but Kadabra's recover makes it seem like it'll be impossible to beat. Then Haunter shows up, and it blows up a bomb in front of Sabrina. This causes her to laugh, and Ash wins the battle. What? So in this 3-episode arc, Ash got absolutely dominated by Sabrina not once, but twice. Multiple people got transformed into dolls, but in the end, Ash comes out on top because Haunter made this psychopath laugh. This really is peak original series. What could possibly top this mess for the worst gym battle ever? One of the things that we never really got to see in the anime was a classic battle between Ash and Brock. You'd think after traveling together for over 600 episodes, we'd be able to look back and at least think of one time the two had a memorable face-off. Instead, we have the memories of Ash's first and worst gym battle. Just like in the previous entry, I'm including both of Ash's attempts to win the Boulder Badge in this spot. Both matches, if they can even be called matches, take place in just the 5th episode of the anime. Ash was no match for a rock-type gym at this point, and Brock knew it.
Yes, your Pikachu is in its cutest stage. It can't win.
It's a little jarring to see Brock act kind of like a jerk in this episode, and he wastes no time getting Ash to forfeit the match after Pikachu gets caught in Onix's bind. After some weird training that powers up Pikachu's electric-type moves, Ash is ready for a rematch. After Geodude easily defeats Pidgeotto, Pikachu responds by knocking out Geodude in one hit. At this point in the anime, things like ground types being immune to electric type moves didn't really matter, which is another obvious knock on this match. We're back to Pikachu versus Onix again, and Pikachu freaks out, sending electric shocks everywhere, even breaking some of the gym's lights. This allows Onix to get another bind attack in, but Pikachu's buffed up Thunderbolt is able to damage Onix this time. We get a pretty cool visual of the two attacks colliding, but Onix's bind wins out, and Brock tells it to stop before it seriously hurts Pikachu. Just before Ash forfeits, the sprinklers go off and Onix gets soaked, so it's vulnerable to electric-type attacks. Just as Ash is about to finish the match off,
Pikachu, finish it off! My conscience is holding me back. I can't bring myself to beat Brock. I'm imagining his little brothers and sisters stopping me from beating the one person they love.
Ash, I think you'd better open your eyes. You leave Onix alone. I'd rather we're tardy raising, you big bully.
Ash actually decides to forfeit the match at this point, since he realizes how unfair it was for him to win this way. And so, he leaves the gym without ever actually beating Brock. So not only did he forfeit twice, Ash only actually got close to winning because Pikachu's electric-type attacks were able to damage ground types, which makes literally no sense. Brock catches up with Ash and gives him the Boulder Badge anyways, and the rest is history with these two. It really is a shame that these two never had an exciting battle against one another, and that their gym battle was so bad, it made my number 1 for the worst gym battle that Ash Ketchum has ever had. And there you have it, the top 10 worst gym battles in the Pokemon anime. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you guys think about my rankings in the comments below. Please give the video a like, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter. This has been Elite Trainer Mark, and I'll see you guys next time.